Okay, let me introduce you to the Tangram Fury game. I'll first show you the pieces, then I'll show you how they're played with. So, inside the box, we have 4 sets of cards. There's the fish and birds, there's the objects and shapes, animals, and then people. In the game, you've got the instruction sheet that tells you how to play. And then this is probably the most important part. There's a bunch of puzzles in here. And there's 4 sets of tangrams. Each of the tangrams has 7 pieces to it. There are 2 large triangles. There is a square. There are 2 small triangles. A parallelogram. You try saying that. Parallelogram. Okay? And then there is a medium-sized triangle. Those 7 pieces all make a square. Then there is also the die. And the die is multicolored to show each of the 4 colors. And that is what determines which shape you will be building. Okay, so the first thing you've got to be able to do is take these 7 pieces that make up the tangram and make a square. Now you'll notice one thing about them is each one is half the size of the next one, so that 2 of these will make one of those, and 2 of these will make one of these, and if you put these together, it works out to be one of those, or if you put these together, it'll make one of those. So each one is actually a series of halves. Now, if you want to make the square, you start off with the big ones, and you make them in a triangle pointing at you. And then you put the square off-centered from the middle, take the little triangles on either side of it, like bookends, and they can make that part of it. Take the parallelogram, slide it into there, and take the middle triangle and put it right there, and then you have your square. And that is the starting point for the game. Now, being able to make the square is important for the start of the game so that everybody knows how to do it. The only reason that's important is because if you roll the same color 3 times in a row, and it doesn't matter what color it is, it's called a triple. And if you make a triple, everybody has to quickly build the square, and whoever builds that square first, they win the triple. And when you win the triple, you get to decide what color of card is going to be played for that round. And that can be handy if you're really good, say, at building the yellow cards, but you're not so good at building the red cards, you may want to declare that it's a yellow. When you're actually playing the game, you would set your pieces aside. You don't have to keep the square built. You'd roll the die. This one turned out to be yellow. You would draw a yellow card. The yellow card would be put down. This one happens to be one called Jack Be Nimble. And everybody on the team would have to very quickly build that card as quickly as they could. And whoever builds that card first, they win the card. And they're considered the winner of that round. And so whoever builds that card first wins this card. Whoever wins 5 cards of any color wins the game. And that person is declared the winner. So there's a couple of things. Whenever you roll the next one, you pick the next card. But there are 2 different levels of play. The first level shows you exactly where all the pieces go. The expert level does not. And so it's one thing to be able to build quickly how these things are already laid out before you. It's quite another thing to have to figure out where to position everything and get those together. A lot of people tell me, well, I could never do that. That's impossible. But after a few rounds of doing this, most of those people say, hey, you know, let's give it a try. Let's try this one instead. And they have fun doing both of them. So that can be good too. So one more thing about the cards. When you roll the die, it's your turn to figure out which way the card will face. If you're sitting at the head of the table, the card gets to face you. But if you're off to the side, you get to turn the card to face you. And so that means that each player at a different time will be seeing the card from a different angle. And some people feel that that's a difficult thing to do. Well, that's right. It's intentionally that way. The concept of playing with tangrams is to take abstract images and to be able to spatially position them in different ways. So turning the card at a different angle is actually part of the game, so that you'll be able to figure out if you can know how to build the thing upside down, right side up, sideways, or whatnot. My recommendation, by the way, is that if you see the card upside down, build it upside down, because if you try to transpose it, you're losing time. And remember, you're trying to beat everybody else, so you're trying to go as fast as you can. So don't worry so much what the image is, just worry about where the pieces go to build that image. And if you can build it first, you will win the game. All right, the typical Tangram Fury game comes with enough puzzle pieces for 4 people to play. In other words, there's 4 puzzles inside. You could also, if you wanted, share the puzzles and have 2 people building the same image with the same sets of puzzles, which is kind of funny to watch their hands bouncing over each other, but a little bit impractical. And so there's a deluxe edition of Tangram Fury, and in that there are twice the number of puzzles in it. So there's 8 puzzles in these sets, and then 8 different people can play the game using the same images. And so you can do it that way. I've also had requests to get Tangram Fury into the classroom. And so to make it more affordable, more practical to have Tangram Fury in the classroom edition of Tangram Fury is a little bit different from the normal. In the case of the classroom edition of Tangram Fury, there are 20 puzzles, so that you can have up to 20 kids sitting at their desks playing with the puzzles and trying to make the images. The image cards for the classrooms have been altered such that they are no longer going to be the physical cards, but instead many classrooms like to use projectors and have the image projected up on a screen on the wall in the classroom, and so all of the kids can sit at their desks with their Tangram images, but then they look up on the projector or on the screen and they see the image up there, and so then they quickly try to build it. And so in the classroom edition of Tangram Fury, all of the cards have been digitized and are available that way. And then the puzzle pieces themselves, there are 20 sets of puzzles so that 20 kids can play at the same time. And the cost of the game is considerably less to the classroom than it would be if you were to buy 5 sets of these. To get more information about Tangram Fury or to find out about pricing or other offers that are available, go to tangramfury.com.